Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us for another week's episode of Heat Press Nation Live. As you might be able to infer by the really cute decor here today, no, I did not turn into a supervillain of flowers. What it is Mother's Day. Hey, right? Thank you for joining us for our special Mother's Day episode. We're gonna have an absolute blast here today. I have some fun projects. We got some last minute gift ideas. So if you're a procrastinator like me, and you shouldn't be, because first, I just gotta say this right out of the gate. Moms in the past year have just been through the ringer, all right? Especially if you've been having kids in school with that distance learning, guys, my hat is off to you today. So real quick, just wanna shout out all the moms. If you are looking for a last minute gift, shame on you. But don't worry, we're not here to judge. We're here to help you out. And maybe you're a mom who's trying to get a gift for your mom, and you just need some ideas. That's what we're doing here today. And so, yeah, we're going to have a blast real quick. If you're joining us for the first time and you're on YouTube, well, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of stuff coming out all the time. So we have at least, I want to say, like 2 videos a week, Alex, we're averaging. Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to my boy Alex. He's behind the camera over there. He's producing today's show. And yeah, so we have like at least 2 videos every week, really fresh heat press content. So if you want to stay at the top of your game with heat pressing, you want to stay up to date on all the cool new products and stuff, I highly recommend checking out our YouTube channel. I'm going to get into the tutorials right now. One more shout out and then one more commercial, and then we'll get going. But we also would ask that you join our Facebook group. It's a really cool group. You can go heat.press/FB group. It might be up on the screen. Yes, it is. And yeah, our Facebook group is really great. There's so many cool, experienced, fun people there sharing some really dope projects. Like some of the work that I've seen in this group, I'm like, dude, how is that vinyl? It looks so cool. And yeah, everybody there is really helpful and friendly. So if you've been looking for a really cool and friendly online community where you can join and just get some inspiration, ask some questions, and just kind of, maybe you're on the fence. Are you gonna get into heat pressing or sublimation? And you kind of wanna see how real people are using their equipment before you dive in, you are welcome to join as well. Once again, heat.press/FB group. And yeah, like our regular page while you're at it. Okay. It's funny, every now and then we'll get comments on our YouTube especially. It's like, stop talking, get to the tutorials. And I'm like, dude, this is what I do. But I digress. Let's get into some fun tutorials. Really quick, also, sorry, if you are watching online, just want to say what's up to you. Feel free to comment, say where you're tuning in from, say what's up. We are so stoked to have everybody here. Yeah, I'm going to let these comments load. Okay, we got PL tuning in from Florida. Sandra Guerrero says, hey, well, hey, back to you. Pat, hey, Pat. Oh, my gosh, good to see you. Let's see. Bobby's saying morning from North Idaho. Well, hello from North Idaho. Very cool. I'm here, and you could probably see me already. Not only is it warm outside, I'm like sitting in between 2 heat presses. So that's usually why I'm like glistening here on Heat Press Nation Live. But anyways, yeah, so we're really excited. So we have some projects that you can do here, and our first one up is this really cool, and I haven't pressed it yet. This really cool, don't worry, we haven't pressed it yet. This really cool tote bag. So here's the thing. If you're like me and you have a heat press, you probably have already made everybody t-shirts for various events. You've probably given out so many t-shirts, all your family is like, okay, that's enough t-shirts, all right? If that's the case, if you're like me, you try something different. This is just one example of a zillion things that you can heat press. This is a cotton canvas tote bag. All right, so very cool. And we have a really cool graphic now. I don't know if this is gonna pick up. Oh yeah. See how sparkly this is? This is Caesar Sparkle. Very cool. And honestly, the camera is not doing it justice because it has a reflective quality to it that really just makes it pop. So I'm gonna come around. And, oh, by the way, now, I do want to address something really quick. We have our pink HPN Craft Pro with the slide-out drawer. It's fantastic. We've been getting lots of comments. These are sold out at the moment. We are expecting to have them back in stock by next week. But if you would like to place a pre-order for the love of your life, the mother in your life, maybe she really wants one of these super rad. We have these available in pink, mint, and the standard like kind of gray-blue color scheme. And yeah, you are able to make a pre-order. You just got to call us at 800-215-0894. Once again, that's 800-215-0894. And yeah, you are able to place a pre-order. I know, it hurts us. We are not like secretly hoarding these to create, like we don't do the Nintendo thing. Like Nintendo, every Christmas, they only release like 10 Switches to every store and then it's sold out everywhere. They just do that to create hype. Us, on the other hand, we're not into hype. We're into selling heat presses. And so there's been a few pandemic-related logistics delays. So unfortunately, these are out of stock at the moment. They'll be in stock in about, hopefully by the end of next week. And if you'd like to place a pre-order, you could do so at 800-215-0894. I'm going to come out and I'm going to show you guys this press. This is our pink HPN Craft Pro. And I'm going to try to not trip on any crazy wires here. There we go. Okay. I love, now, if you're on this angle, camera 2 angle, you could just see how far this puppy slides out. So like if you're using a regular heat press, you're reaching in. Now this press, I like it. There is a lot of clearance, so it is pretty safe. But if you're clumsy like me, like I don't even want to risk burning myself. So now I could place my transfers over here and I don't have to worry about burning myself up there. I just have this free and clear space, which is one reason why I really, really like the Craft Pro. Now you'll notice I do have a piece of heat foam on here. And the reason why is that this particular cotton canvas is a little bit sensitive to heat. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to put a press mark on it. And by press mark, I mean this press gets pretty hot. It's set to 305 degrees right now. And what I don't want is I don't want it to leave an imprint of the heating element in my thing. I want this to just be ready to go as soon as we press it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this bag on the lower plate. And and so what this does, what the foam does, is it kind of just helps the edge. It kind of gives me a soft edge, right? So when the heat press comes down, it's not going to have a hard edge from there. It's not going to imprint a hard corners on there. This works like a pressing pillow. I didn't have any pillows the right size, so I just cut a piece of this foam. And yeah, so what it does is it gives me a softer edge so I don't get any press marks on here. So that's why you'll see me with the heat foam today. It's just a piece that I cut all ugly with scissors. And yeah, it's going to do the job today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this in here. I'm going to preheat this. And when I say preheat, I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on it for about 3 or 4 seconds or so. Pull this back out. And you'll notice there's no like harsh like lines or anything like that. And now I have a nice smooth surface. That does a couple things. It gets the moisture out of there. And then it also gives me a nice flat surface to work with. And one thing that I forgot that I'm going to grab real quick is my ProGrade non-stick sheet. So don't worry, I didn't abandon you guys. Okay, so this is really cool. Now we have Caesar Sparkle. Now here's the thing about Caesar Sparkle. I have 2 layers here. You could easily do a single layer and it'll look really, really cool. But what I wanted to do is I wanted the Super Mom to pop a little bit. So I knocked this part out. So now when I layer it over, it's just really going to help my design to pop out really nice. We have lots of tutorials on how to do the knockout method. It's really fun. And then, and this word I learned from one of our friends here, one of our viewers, is I did what's called a trap. And I'm not sure if I'm using this term 100% correctly, but I created my underlayer. I didn't just do a clean knockout. I created my underlayer a little bit fatter, a little bit wider than it should be to make aligning it a lot easier. So I measured out where center of this is. So now I'm going to center this one onto my lower platen. And this one, feel free to take more time than I am, especially if you're giving this as a gift. I'm kind of just doing this as a demo. And I want to align it by the center. So that should be good. Okay. I'll take your questions in a moment. But right now, I'm just going to put this in. Now, this is Caesar Easy Weed. So the cool thing about Caesar Easy Weed is, let's do this. There we go. Want that all in there. I probably should have had the handles hanging off of this end. All right, so that's all the way in. The cool thing about Caesar Easy Weed is I could press it for about 5 seconds, and then it'll go. So I'm not even going to let it count down all the way. Actually, there's something going on with the counter. I probably messed it up. Okay. And yeah, that was just a few seconds, and it's going to peel off perfectly. So when you're working with stuff like this, like feel free to just let it, your first layer, you can let it press for just a couple seconds. So now I have my second layer, and I'm just going to manually align it. What you don't want to do is, like, you don't want to be all cheap and have it go down and you have these like blank spaces, right? So I'm going to take an extra second to make sure that this is aligned properly. And again, I'm really glad that I made it really larger. So there's a little bit of tolerance, you know, along the edge. This is, I fattened it out, so it's a little bit wider than it should be. And it makes lining it up really easy. Like, I don't have to worry about cutting it too close to one edge or anything like that. So I'm able to lay that down pretty good. Now, one thing I did notice is my pressure was a little light, so I'm just going to give it a couple twists right there. And let's slide that back in. I'm going to go for the full 12 seconds. There we go. And I must have done something to the timer, so I'm actually just going to look at my clock real quick. But look how easy, there it is. Oh, I know what it is, that my set, I wasn't on the right screen. Oh yeah, see, it's counting down now. I was just on the wrong, I didn't push the right button. Okay, so check that out. Now the one thing about this product is it is a cold peel, right? Yep, oh yep, definitely. You know, I shouldn't have done that. Let's just smash that down real quick. Okay, so this is a cold peel product. So we're gonna take a few moments here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it face down on the cool surface. And that should help us speed up our cool down process just a little bit. Give me 1 second here. Okay, and we're back. So I have my cotton canvas tote. It's face down right here. If you have like a marble or like a stone, granite, whatever countertop, those work perfect for cool downs. You just place it on the nice cool stone and then give it a few seconds and you move it over, you know, to a new spot. It'll cool down way, way faster. Or you can just leave it up, put a fan on it, whatever it is exactly that you want to do to get it to cool down. So, what's up, everybody? Okay, yeah, everybody's tuning in. We got, I don't want to mispronounce anything. So we got Texas, New York, California coming in. My pal Sharon Walsh is tuning in from not too far away. Oh, Marla's tuning in from Apple Valley. Good to see you. It's been a little while. Very cool. Sharon says mugs are flying off her porch. Nice. And Sandra says she's excited to order the Craft Pro 1515. Yes, this, oh, by the way, this is the 13 by 19 inch. So it's a little small, but it's really like compact, lightweight. So if you don't need the big 1515 size, this is a killer machine. I really, really like it. Very compact, especially if you don't have like a lot of space. And then it slides out towards you. And this is really neat because, like, you know, with the swing away, you know, it goes to the side. So if you're very limited on space, dude, Craft Pro 13 by 9. But I love the Craft Pro 1515. When people ask which one I personally recommend, I'm like, hey, if you have the space and the budget, Craft Pro 1515. And then if you really have the space and the budget, my heat press is the HPN. I have the Signature Series 16 by 20, which I adore. I've had it for 5 years now, actually. So I just celebrated my 5 years here at HPN. Woo! 5 years of this. So very cool. Okay, let's see what everybody's doing over on our YouTube channel. See if we have any questions on there. Yes, we do. Oh, we have people. We have Pueblo, Colorado. We have Algona, Washington. We have Arizona. Oh, what? Anna's tuning in from Romania? Heck yeah, we're international today. Thank you so much for joining us. Got Swansboro, North Carolina here. And yes, this is a classic Casio watch. I saw Marty McFly wear one of these in Back to the Future, and then, you know, I've had to have one ever since. We got Terry from the UK, Northwest Florida, Jacksonville. So good to see everybody. Okay, I think our graphic it's almost cool enough to the touch. Now, whenever something says it's a cold peel, it's always better to err on the side of caution. You don't want to it's kind of warm. No. You want to make sure it's a cold peel. So I'm going to give this just another moment, but while I do that, I'm going to switch machines here. And of course, you know, if you're into sublimation and you do sublimation mugs, hopefully the mom in your life hasn't gotten sick of mugs yet. So, okay, this is my special formula for like Mother's Day and like sentimental gifts, all right? Cool pattern, check. And I wish we could, can I bring this up? Is camera 2 kind of close? Yeah, there we go. So there is and this was my test mug, that's why the top is a little faded. This is just a tester. So we have a pattern of superhero ladies on the background, right? We have a cool graphic or a cool saying, the super mom in that kind of black shadow, right? And then put a picture of the mom with a kid. You guys, that is the secret formula for a killer Mother's Day mug, all right? Once again, and you could do anything. Floral patterns actually work really, really good for this. Get a nice floral pattern. Put something cool there like Super Mom or Mom of the Year or We Love You Mom or something like that. And then on the other side, make sure you get a cool picture of the mom and the kid. This is probably not in focus, but it's okay. Oh, it is now. Cool picture. Picture, saying, pattern, 3 elements to a killer Mother's Day mug design. And I already did all the hard work. Unfortunately, I can't share this file because, let's be real, I cheat a lot, and Shutterstock is my friend, all right? So, did I bring scissors? Oh, yeah, they're there. So, yeah, so Shutterstock is my friend. So, unfortunately, because we license these from Shutterstock, we can't share the graphics because that would be a violation of our license agreement. And we're not into that. Like, you know, we're not anybody's judge. We're not the copyright police, but we definitely try to set the example of being as ethical as possible with all of our graphics and the cut files we share. So sometimes I'll be able to create a cut file, and if I create it, I don't care. I'm on the clock, so I already got my money for it. And we get to share it with you guys. Unfortunately, today's not one of those days. So really quick, you'll see I just trimmed it. It's this easy, you guys. And by the way, maybe, you know, there's not enough time. These are in stock, by the way. This is the Signature Series Sublimation Mug Press. We just got a huge stock of these right now. So maybe it's not enough time for Mother's Day, or maybe the mother in your life has been having her eye on a mug press. Now's the time, man. So what you're not seeing, I have a little bit of heat tape right here, and I like to fold the end over. Makes a little tab, makes it really easy to peel off when it's time. So all you do is you just heat tape one side. You're going to do it again. You probably can't see the little roller, but I have a little roll of heat tape over there. And I'm going to add another strip of tape to this side. And you know it is hilarious. Alex, you're not going to believe this. I forgot to grab a mug. On the table in the other room, there's a pair. So really quick while Alex grabs me a mug. Thank you, Alex. You guys, shout out for Alex. Drop some hearts for Alex. I can't believe that I actually forgot a mug, but that's okay. We're going to take some questions and answers really quick while Alex grabs me a mug. I totally messed up on that one. My bad. Okay, so check it out. Oh, we got pals coming in from Sacramento. Jerry Van West. Okay, question. Where did I get the image from? So this is a stock image. I don't really know this lady and her kid. That's from Pexels.com, Pexels.com. And then, yeah, there's lots of free stock footage. So if you're making mock-ups and things like that, Pexels is actually a really great place to get items for your mock-ups. My apologies for the delayed on there. This background is from Shutterstock.com. Alex, my hero. Thank you so much. Magic hands. Oh, by the way, if you've seen any of our tutorials in the last year, those aren't my hands. You've seen my stunt double, Alex's hands. So yeah, so there we go. So even though you don't know him, you know him. Yeah, so then the background was from Shutterstock. And then this Supermom I did create. In fact, on Friday, we did a tutorial on how to use certain tools in SignMaster. So even though SignMaster is a vector design program, the text tools, I love them. So if I ever need to create a graphic with a circle text or a really cool this block shadow, I'll actually do it in SignMaster really quick because it's so easy. It's so easy. So even though I could do this in Photoshop, it's literally 2 clicks in SignMaster. So I'm not even joking. I will open up SignMaster, 2 clicks, make this Supermom graphic, and then I'll just export that as a PNG or something like that. It's actually a lot faster than having the long process in Photoshop or in my other graphic design software. Okay, well, really quick, since I'm opening up questions here, let's see. We got any new questions? If you have any questions about anything that you're seeing today, please feel free to drop it in the comments. We got Jill from South Carolina. We got my pal Steve coming in from the big NYC. We got Syl coming from Gig Harbor, Washington. Very cool. Karen from Yuma, Arizona. And then, we even have Newman from Quebec, Canada. I hope I said, every time I say it one way, I get corrected. So if I say Quebec, people say, no, it's Quebec. And then if I say Quebec, they're like, I think it's Quebec. And so you know what? I give up. All right. So back to our mug tutorial. Thank you once again to my pal Alex. So this is a blank 15-ounce. This is a Sublacraft mug, and I know because it has a blank bottom. Just really quick, did want to mention that, blank bottom. So our Orca and our Dolphin mugs, and this is a very minor detail, but our Orca and our Dolphin mugs are going to have a small logo on the bottom, but our Sublacraft mugs are 100% blank. So if you enjoy having, press is at temperature. If you enjoy having a blank bottom, if that's a big deal to you, Sublacraft is the way to go. So we got something, got a note here. Oh yeah, there we go. Trying to fix my mic. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of a lot of static noise. Okay, well, I'll try to not mess this up. Okay, so anyway, so we have our mug and we have our transfer. And so here's how I do it. I just kind of will hold the transfer up like so, right? And you're gonna want to be a lot more careful than me right now. And I'll just kind of hold it up and center it. So what I'm eyeballing this. And you want to have equal distance from this side and this side from the handle. So I'm using the handle as my reference point to make sure that everything is centered and looking good and cute, because again, this is a gift. So I'm just kind of giving you guys the tutorial on how it's done, but if you're actually going to give this as a gift, you definitely want to take your time, make sure everything looks perfect, lined up, everything. And this one actually looks pretty good. So when you're taping your transfer to the mug, you want to make sure it's nice and tight. There's no bubbles there. You want to make sure that there's no gaps or anything like that. Basically, the paper is pulled tight across the surface of the mug. Now I'm going to drop this into my mug press over here. Want to make sure it's centered. Now I've already adjusted for pressure earlier. So I'm just going to kind of hold it in there. It's a little awkward doing it from this angle. I'm usually, let's tighten that up there. There we go. I'm usually in front of it. So let's hope I load it. It looks good. Okay, so now while that's going, this feels cool enough to where we can have our reveal for our Supermom tote bag. It's a cold peel. There we go. Okay, so usually what I'll do is if it's a cold peel and I want to make sure that it's everything's right, I'll just start a little bit, and if everything's holding on, there we go. Now, one thing you don't really want to do is you don't want to pull up and away. Just roll it off. You just want to roll it off, and that's going to be the way to go. Now, this is cool. This Supermom graphic is very, very cool. There we go on camera 2. I'm trying to catch some of the glitter angle. Okay, got it. I'm trying to catch some of the glitter angle. And I hope you guys could see it because the sparkly in the lights, I'm trying to find the light angle. But this sparkle is super cool. And even though we could have left the inside blank, I'm actually really glad that I layered in that white vinyl. It just makes the graphic pop. Super mom. You could put something on the back, like my kids think I'm super, other clever sayings or things like that to really make this cool. Summer's coming. Summer's like right around the corner. I'm already planning my Memorial Day. And sometimes you just need like a cool like beach tote, man. Like throw a book, a towel in there, a water bottle, and boom, you're good to go. I don't know, sunscreen, whatever else you guys put in your beach totes. But yeah, so if you've already like given the mother in your life, she already has like a bunch of t-shirts, give her something cool that she'll actually use. Go out there, find a really cool tote bag and with like some glitter, some sparkle, put some pizzazz on there. Take a little bit of extra time like crafting a design that you're really proud of, or you can do what I do. I made this one, but like you can go to Shutterstock, or you can go to, if you have a Silhouette vinyl cutter, you can go to the Silhouette store. Tons of great stuff in the Silhouette store. We got about 40 seconds. Okay. Great question. Steven Salazar is asking, when are we getting the 16 by 24 inch heat presses back in stock? We are expecting to receive those this week, so those should hopefully be up on the site by the end of this week or early next week. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, like we are still, and when I say we, it's not just us, it's businesses across the country. But when I say we, I kind of mean more like everybody who gets their stuff or a lot of supplies, that gets trucked in. We have warehouses across the country, so some trucks, like they'll get delayed on their way to our warehouse that's in Nevada, or there's something going on in Oklahoma City. We have warehouses across the country. So unfortunately, we are waiting on a shipment right now, but let's go ahead and open this up. Now with your mugs, one thing I do want to mention is on your mugs, you see like that, like when you pull it out, it comes out fine. But then, you peel it off immediately, and then you look at it a little bit later, and it's like the ink kind of smudged up. What you want to do is you want to leave the transfer on there just a little bit longer. So again, with sublimation, the ink turns into a gas dye. And that gas dye, when it's still really hot, it's still kind of active. So if you peel it too soon, some of the gas dye that's still on the surface of the mug, again, gases, they rise. So it kind of rises up, and as it rises up, it smudges in an upwardly area on your mug. So if you've been seeing that on your mugs, just leave it on a little bit longer. Some people, what they'll do is they'll dunk their mugs into warm water. Oh, there we go, camera two. What they'll do is they'll dunk their mugs into warm water, and don't do cold. If you do cold, you'll literally ruin the mug. But they'll dump their mugs into warm water to kind of stop the sublimation process. And I found that the time it takes to dunk it into the warm water and then dry it off and all that jazz, like that's about the time it takes to just let it sit. So I'll usually let my mugs sit for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. That's why doing test presses are important. So yeah, so we just pulled that out. I'm gonna let that sit for just another second. I have my favorite person here. My mother is actually tuning in. Give a shout out, Tina Barbosa. God bless her, tuning in. I'm giving like a bunch of hearts and thumbs up. So if you want to know where I get all my good looks from, that's where. And do you prefer, that's a good question. Newman's asking, do I prefer Caesar Easy Weed over Stahl's Ultra Weed? You know what? I haven't used Stahl's Ultra Weed. They have another one that I used, and it was good, not gonna lie. I personally prefer Easy Weed because that's what I have all my experience on. I've tried other vinyls, I've wash tested other vinyls, and every time, because people send us stuff, or I'll go to like a trade show and get a couple samples from different vendors, whatever. I'll try them. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. But you know what? The thing I love about Caesar is that Caesar Easy Weed especially, it's just consistent, man. Like, so once you find that thing that's consistent, it works. You've worn your shirt 50 times, you've washed it 50 times, and it still looks dope. Like, once you lock in, you lock in. And so I would encourage anybody, if you're looking for something like a really good product, Caesar Easy Weed is the way to go. If you've already found your product that works for you, it's available in your area or something like that. I think, because Newman, I think you mentioned you were tuning in from Canada. Yeah, so you might have stuff that's available over there that we might not have here in Southern California. I don't know. All that to say, Caesar, they're my boys, and I love them because I don't have to lie. Like a couple weeks ago, we had Joe Piazza from Caesar, and I love it because I don't have to lie when I say, "Hey man, I love your product." No, I genuinely do. I use it on all my projects, and yeah, so Caesar Easy Weed is really the way to go. If you're asking me my personal opinion, yeah, that's the way to go. Sanders asking, does shipping take long? So right now we are shipping in-stock orders within about 1 to 2 business days. And we have warehouses across the country now. Again, due to pandemic-related supply issues, certain items are stocked in certain warehouses and they might not be close to you. We try our best to ship from the warehouse that's closest to you. So shipping, depending on where you live and where the warehouse is, if you're ordering something in New York and it has to ship from California, which is pretty rare, shipping takes about 5 business days. If you're ordering something from New York, we're going to try to ship it. We actually have a New York warehouse. We'll try to ship it from there. That way you get it. It ships in 1 to 2 days. So yeah, if you have questions about hey, I want to order this, can you tell me more or less how long it'll take? Give us a call. Our reps will be able to have the most accurate answer for you. And once again, that number is 800-215-0894. Steven Salazar, sorry, our will call is currently closed. We are still closed to the public at this time. Any other questions here? We got okay, Jerry Van West is asking, do you advocate or use Creative Studio for Sawgrass, or is it too amateurish? Just got my SG500 and I'm curious. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm a home crafter with a Cricut, but also use Silhouette. Okay, so Creative Studio for Sawgrass is one of those things to where it's me, I wouldn't consider myself a pro graphic designer, but I'm pretty experienced. So I'm pretty decent, If there's something that I envision in my mind, I know how to achieve most looks. And then I'm really picky about my template sizing. So I use Photoshop. In fact, I've done tutorials on how to perfectly create your own templates in Photoshop for sublimation blanks. So I'm a big Photoshop guy. Now, all right, let's pause, all right? I've mentioned that I'm very open about using a lot of Shutterstock stuff because we have a Shutterstock subscription. I'm not paying for it, the company is, right? If I didn't have that Shutterstock subscription, I would live in Sawgrass Creative Studio. Now, Sawgrass Creative Studio, to me, one of the biggest sales points of Sawgrass Creative Studio is that you have all this free stuff, free backgrounds, free fonts, free designs. There's so much free stuff on there, and it's really cool. It's fully licensed commercial use. You don't have to worry about, if you're concerned about the ethics of using artwork that you didn't create on your own. It's all free and it's fully licensed for personal or commercial use. They even have an additional subscription to unlock literally thousands more graphics, and I'm talking really cool pattern backgrounds, again, fonts, graphic elements. There's so much cool stuff in Creative Studio. So in that regard, to some people it might seem oh, I'm a pro, I use all Photoshop, So some people might consider it amateurish, but I'm dude, if it's giving you stuff, there's value there no matter who you are. So if you do need a cool graphic or a background, or you don't want to pay for this or that, you want to get it free, Creative Studio is definitely worth everybody's time. I highly encourage you all. And I didn't mean to turn this into a Creative Studio infomercial, but I really like it. I really do. So yeah, that's my angle on there. Okay, last question there. I'm going to peel this. Any Night is asking, mug press versus convection oven. What's my preference? For me, I prefer a mug press. I actually have this exact model at my house. I love mug presses, 3 minutes a mug. Now, convection ovens are cool, but you don't want to use the same one that you use for your food. So if you're working on a tabletop, you're going to get a nice toaster oven. You could fit maybe 3 to 5 mugs in there at a time, which is cool. But then your cook time is I think it's 12 to 15 minutes. So you're still averaging 3 to 5 minutes. You're still averaging 3 minutes a mug. So when you do it in bulk, if you're doing one at a time, dude, 12 minutes a mug is a hassle. Now where things start to break past that point is you get a bigger mug. Hicks has an oven specifically made for mugs, and it's huge. You could fit like, I think over a dozen mugs in there or something like that. And that's where it really starts to pay off, because then you're actually cutting down the average time per mug. So for those big ovens, yes, I love it. Especially if you're doing tons of production. If you just have like a zillion mugs to do, it's worth it. Me personally, 3 minutes a mug, what I'll do, and what we've done here before, like, and this is a few years back, but one of the guys here got married, and for their favors, they made mugs. And they had like 100-something mugs to do, and they just got like 2 or 3 mug presses at a time, and they smashed it out really quick. So if you have a lot of production, you might want to just consider a second mug press. Now, on the other hand, if you're just barely getting started and you can't afford a mug press, and you want to buy the oven wrap for, I think, for like $40, go for it. Go for it. You know, there's no real wrong answer. It's just, if you're doing this as a business, there's a few things you want to consider. So let's go ahead and peel this, and I think Alex said to go camera 2. So see that little tab right there? It makes it so much easier. Boom, super. Mom, check that out. We're gonna do the influencer thing. There we go. Super mom. So the colors came out super bold and vibrant. Again, I don't know who that lady is, but it was free. The picture was licensed for commercial use, so I took it. Very cool. And again, we use the magic formula. If you're making, oh, it's not that hot. It's a little hot. If you're making like special mugs, we're using the magic formula. You want like a cool saying on front. Super mom, mom of the year. We love you, mom, whatever, right? Optional, but a nice patterned background. And this is like a superhero background, which I thought was pretty neat, given the theme, you know, super mom. But, you know, do like a floral, cool, I don't know, or get like really meta. Like, what is she into, man? Is your mom into like her corgi? Dude, find like a corgi background or something. Like, I don't know, like make it really cool and personal for him. And then, of course, you drop a photo on one side. So photo on one side, cool saying on the other. Optional background, guys. That is like the magic formula for hot selling mugs. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna do one last sweep. If you guys got any questions, now is the time. Of course, you know I talk too much, so let's see. Art Muse 2011, can I download Creative Studio before I purchase my SG printer? You know, that is a great question, and unfortunately, I don't 100% know the answer. I know you have to register for an account on sawgrassinc.com. So it's sawgrassinc.com. Register for an account there, and you might be able to have access to Creative Studio. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. What's the measurements to print onto a mug? You know, it depends on what kind of mug you're doing. So this is a 15-ounce mug. And I want to say my preferred measurements for the imprint area are like 4 inches high by like 8.6 inches wide. But do me a favor, if you go to our website, heatpressnation.com, and you look up the blank, it'll actually give you the imprint dimensions. So you don't have to worry about that. If you have a mug that maybe you didn't get, well, they're mostly the same. If it's a 15 ounce, they're like all the same. But another thing that you could do is, we have some tutorials how to create your own template on Photoshop for sublimation blanks, sublimation mugs, and other things like that. So you can check that out if you want to. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jerry. So Jerry says, yes, you can download once you register. I did with Creative Studio. I still have to set up my Sawgrass. Yeah, so he hasn't even set up his Sawgrass, and it allowed him to register with Creative Studio, register with sawgrassinc.com, you know, the website, and get into Creative Studio. So that's very cool. Orville is asking, do they make a swing away press 16 by 24? I don't know if it's exactly 16 by 24, but we do have, oh no, it's the Hicks Swingman, and I want to say it's like 20 by 25. It's gigantic. Yeah, so you want to go to our website. You might have to look under large format heat presses. So when you go to heat presses at heatpressnation.com, we have different categories. You might want to check out large format heat presses. Now there's some big ones. There's like some 48 inch by like 36 inch. But if I'm not mistaken, the Hicks Swingman is like it's like the Swingman 20. It's like a 20 by 25 inch swing away heat press. So yeah, definitely want to look into that. Okay, last call for questions here on Facebook. Oh, here's a good question. Sil Ward is asking, which program do you find to be best overall between Silhouette, Creative Studio, or whatever else? I'm finding limitations with Sawgrass Page Manager / Creative Studio. It depends on what you want to create for. So with Silhouette, Studio. I love Silhouette Studio, but unless you upgrade to Business Edition, it's proprietary, meaning you can't save your files and export them to cut on your stuff. So if you have a Silhouette cutter, I love Silhouette Studio. I just did a tutorial, a live webinar, training webinar on Friday with SignMaster, and I work here, so I have access to all these softwares. I get to test them all out. They all have their different strengths. Like SignMaster, really great for text effects and text like this. I love it for that. Sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, I'll open it up just for the text tools and then go finish my project somewhere else. But if it's like, if you're designing for sublimation, you want to use Creative Studio, and then you want to get Adobe Photoshop. You can, and again, I've done tutorials on using Silhouette Studio to create sublimation graphics, but that's for people who are already like super experienced with Silhouette Studio. I would recommend Creative Studio from Sawgrass or Adobe Photoshop for sublimation graphics. If you're creating things for, like you need vector graphics for cut files, heat transfer vinyl, Silhouette Studio is fantastic. I love it. I also love SignMaster, and we have tutorials on our YouTube channel. If you want to look a little bit deeper into those, we have tutorials for Silhouette Studio, SignMaster. The only thing we don't have is Illustrator, and it's because I suck at Illustrator, and I'm the kind of the tutorial guy. So pray for me to get better at Illustrator, so I can share some Illustrator tutorials with you guys. Oh, here we go, Joanna. Thank you for sharing. She says she ordered on a Wednesday and received her order on Friday. So yeah, she definitely got lucky, probably living somewhere close to one of our fulfillment warehouses. So that's very, very cool. And yeah, that is how fast it could be. You know, order Wednesday, get it as early as Friday. All in-stock orders, we try to ship those out like ASAP. And again, depending on how far you live from our nearest warehouse, that's how long it'll take. But that's really cool to know. Joanna ordered on a Wednesday, got it on a Friday. Very, very cool. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the Q&A. And you guys know me, my mouth is like already tired from all this talking. So I'm going to give you guys a rest from this annoying voice. And I'm going to wish you guys there's like 3 holidays, all right? Happy, and we're going to go to the line. Happy May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day to all my fellow nerds out there. I don't know which camera's on right now, but both of you guys, right? Happy Star Wars Day to all my fellow nerds. Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all my fellow Latinos. And you know what? And I don't speak for the entire, Mexican-American population, but I'll speak for myself and say, hey, if you want to celebrate with us, go ahead. Like, whatever. Just keep it respectful. But yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. Go get some tacos tomorrow. You drink all the horchata you can. Have a blast. And then, of course, this Sunday is Mother's Day. I personally want to appreciate each and every mom out there. Like, dude, mothering is tough, man. And I'm not a mother, so I wouldn't know personally, but I know a few mothers, all right? Yeah, mothering during this pandemic, I can only imagine how rough it's been. So again, we give like all of our applause, all of our props, all of our kudos to you moms out there. You guys are amazing. And I'm sure in a few years when we're all able to reflect on this crazy time, we'll say like, yeah, dude, the moms freaking held it down. So mad props to all of you moms out there. And of course, the biggest shout out, I don't know if she's still watching, but to my mom, who is, no offense to any of you other moms, but she like blows you guys all out of the water. She's an amazing mom, an amazing grandma. And yeah, dude, if everybody had a mom like me, like I'm pretty sure there would be world peace. All right, I'm just gonna put it to you that way. Yeah, so shout out to my mom and all your guys' moms. That's gonna do it for me for another week of Heat Press Nation Live. I thank you guys so much for joining me, and yeah, we'll see you all really soon. Have a good one.